Reppin' Philly ain't a choice. It's a way of life. PhillyGoat.com is your one-stop shop for Philly pride. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off. Look fresh, stay Philly, Philly Goat. Go Birds. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for March 4th, 2026. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of the podcast. Happy hump day to everyone out there, except for the Philadelphia 76ers. Every time I think I'm out, they draw me back in, and then they do this to me. What an embarrassment last night was. 131-91 loss to the Spurs. No Joe, but man, like the Spurs came in there and ran them out of the gym. National TV game, 90s night. They had the 90s commentators on there. Bob Costas in the house. They had the czar of the telestrator, Mike Fratello, in the house. Doug Collins was in the house. And the Sixers just completely stunk the joint up. I'm back out because at this point, I don't think there's any... I have zero confidence right now that Joe can stay healthy. The oblique is a new one. That being said, they are a great team, I think, when he's there. It's just, man, oh man, that was just absolutely brutal. And now, granted, San Antonio is a good team, but for the love of God, that was just absolutely brutal. 40 points on your home floor, national TV, 90s night. Come on now. They're back home at it tomorrow against the Jazz. No Joe, so we'll see. Apparently, he's going to be reevaluated after this game and see where he is. I just, man, that was just an embarrassing. I'll hang out, and I'm sorry, they play the Jazz tonight at the Xfinity Live or Xfinity Mobile Arena. And like I said, I get it, but man, oh man, that was absolutely embarrassing. And we'll see what happens with Joe, but God, it's so disappointing. And then if that wasn't disappointing enough, I don't know if this is an organizational thing or three separate random incidents, but Johan Rojas, it was not marijuana, which I had written down. That was the rumor going around. He tested positive for a banned substance. He is appealing it. So no World Baseball Classic, likely going to be suspended 80 games for the Phillies, no postseason. And it does have a big impact on the team only because he likely would have been one of those guys that added some depth to the bench, at least defensively. Now the Phillies are left scrambling, but I feel like we might be the worst PDE or PED. Sorry, I work in education, PDE, but we might be the worst PED abusers in baseball. If Max Kepler was on PEDs last year, dude, Johan Rojas, if you're on PEDs, dude, and I'll give Alvarado was dealing pretty good when he got caught. So, and he was good beforehand, but man, not a good look. PR wise for the Phillies. It's not like it's big players, but I don't know if that means there's other things happening. I know the old adage is if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But come on, man. To be blatant like that is just... Now, we'll see what happens. Maybe there was a legitimate excuse. But much like Alvarado, who was on a weight loss drug, call the 1-800 number. Much like Paul George, who said it was for mental health medicine, call the 1-800 number. I feel as though at this point, in this day and age, there's no excuse for it. Like, you know what's on the ban list, or you have easy access to it. Don't be an idiot. Like, I always go back to the Jim Schwartz quote. If you keep doing dumbass things, people are going to start thinking you're a dumbass. And right now, the Phillies organization, whether or not they have anything to do with this, they look like dumbasses. Not Anyway. I mean, it's Johan Rojas, so not a huge impact, but it will affect the depth of the farm system and all that. Just dumb. I had a football coach in 7th and 8th grade who would hit you over the head with the whistle and say, dumb guy, dumb guy. I feel like somebody needs to hit these players over the head. Dumb guy, dumb guy. Just no excuse for it. Like, I don't get it. Between that and drunk driving, like, I just don't get it. Like, the leagues have the Uber and car services set up. Don't drink and drive. It's simple. They have a 1-800 number that you or your agent could call and check before you take a supplement. Call it. Like, it just makes absolutely no sense. Anyway, on the field, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber are in the World Baseball Classic. They played an exhibition game yesterday. Bryce looked pretty good there in the number 2 hole, and I know that was sort of one of the big topics on sports radio yesterday. I kind of like it. I like having Trey, Bryce, then Schwarber, or even put Schwarber at cleanup. I know Bryce likes to hit 3, but I mean, how many pitches does the second hole hitter get in I guess if you do Trey, Kyle is good at working counts, but I mean, we're talking a difference of maybe 3 to 5 pitches, and that's what Bryce's excuse is. He likes to see a few pitches. Come on now. I like it. I would love him at number 2. Gets him more at-bats during the game. He's supposedly your best player. You want to be elite, Bryce? Hit 2. That would be the elite thing to do. All right, yesterday's trivia question. In honor of Manute Bol hitting 6 threes in the second half of a game against the Suns, I asked you, who holds a single game record for blocks? 3 guys share it with 10 blocks in a game. Obviously, if you follow what I do with the trivia question, Manute Bol is one of the answers. Dikembe Mutombo did it, and Harvey Catchings back in the 70s did it. Lots of guesses for Theo Ratliff. Theo had 9 a few times. Dikembe and Manute also had 9 a few times, but 10, Manute Bol, Dikembe Mutombo, and Harvey Catchings share the Sixers record. All right, some quick housekeeping. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Philly Jimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jimbo_Mont. Continue to spread the word as we grow this thing. And if you're enjoying this, likely somebody in your network will. Kyle and I will be recording a new Brotherly Birds breakdown tonight, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to try to get it up tonight only because I'm going down to the National Liberty Museum for the ceremony for the opening of their Freedom of Assembly exhibit. They have a whole sports thing, so partnering with the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, going down representing the Philly Sports Hall of Fame tomorrow night. So looking forward to that. But Brotherly Birds breakdown hopefully will be in your inbox tomorrow morning. And of course, we're proud members of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. Go to clashingconferences.com to see what they have to offer and how you can join today.
Hey guys, guess what time it is? It's cookie season. I'm Ella here, your favorite Girl Scout, and we have your oldies but goodies. Lemonades, Dimmits, peanut butter sandwiches, and more. This year we have a new cookie flavor called the Explore Mug. My goal is 200 boxes, so please make that happen. You're going to buy cookies anyway, so why not buy them from me?
All right, March 4th. First, we're going to hop in the Wayback Machine and go to 1944. And on this day, the Phillies changed their name to the Blue Jays. When the Carpenter family bought the team in 1943, they wanted to infuse some energy, some life, change the bad luck that the team was having. So they had a naming contest, and many names came in, ran the gamut. Some of them good, some of them inappropriate, but Philly fans are gonna Philly. But the winning name was selected. It was the Blue Jays. Elizabeth Crooks was one of 7 people to submit the name the Blue Jays. She won the drawing, so for her efforts, she won a $100 war bond. All 7 of them received season tickets, which at the time probably seemed like more of a punishment than a reward. But Phillies did wear a Blue Jay on their sleeve, but still had the Phillies script across their chest for the 1944-1945 season. Unfortunately, due to just overall general apathy, not caring about it, the fact that people for almost 40-some, 50-some years have been calling them the Phillies, the name did not stick. Phillies also changed the uniforms, so the experiment ended after the 1945 season. There were still cases of the team using and being called the Blue Jays until about 1950. But on this day, Phillies changed their name to the Blue Jays. It did not stick. So here we are with the Phillies. And if you remember, Phillies is just short for Philadelphia. A lot of times the teams back then, they were just the Philadelphia Club, and they would name them based on the people that lived in the city. But the original name was the Quakers. Phillies became the more acceptable name, and then of course the experiment that was the Blue Jays. So the Phillies and the Blue Jays will forever be entwined, not just because of the 93 World Series. Damn you, Joe Carter. Damn you. And if you want, go to Philly Goat. They have Joe Carter ruined my childhood on a shirt. It's on a shirt. Go buy it. Use the promo code. All right, fast forward to 1973. Flyers meet the Maple Leafs 10-0 at the Spectrum. Rick McLeish had himself a day. 4 goals, 3 assists. He went over 40 goals for the season, becoming the first Flyer ever to have 40 or more goals in a series or in a season. Gary Dornhoefer had 2 goals and an assist. Ross Lonsberry had a goal and 2 assists. The Flyers explode and beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 10-0. Rick McLeish with 7 points on the day, 4 goals and 3 assists, going over the 40-goal mark. First time in Flyers history. And a sad note, I mention this every year because this one really hit me hard when it happened. Fast forward to 1990. We talked about he and Bo Kimball yesterday, but Hank Gathers passed away after collapsing in the West Coast Conference semifinals. He led the nation in scoring and rebounding. Obviously, his junior year, obviously his life cut way too short. Philly native, Dobbins Tech. Him and Bo Kimball were a team. Bo would shoot his foul shots in the NCAA tournament that year. Left-handed, his first one, left-handed for Hank. He did make the first one, but just a sad day overall. Hank Gathers had all the potential in the world. Great personality, great player. Would have done well in the league, but unfortunately his life was cut way too short after he had some heart issues throughout his during his college career at Loyola Marymount. But Hank Gathers passed away on this day in 1990. All right, fast forward to 2022, and the Sixers were down 21 points in the first quarter. Looked a lot like last night's game, but battled back to beat the Cavs 125-119 at the Wells Fargo Center. Crowd was raucous. We were feeling good at the time. We had just acquired James Harden. Tyrese Maxey, though, kind of a coming out party for him. 33 points. Joe had 22 and 9 rebounds. But James Harden, who was just acquired less than a week prior, had 25 points and 11 assists to help lead the Sixers to the come-from-behind victory over the Cavs on this day in 2022. And then 1 year later, more Sixers magic, another comeback, this time out in Milwaukee. They beat the Bucks 133-130. James Harden got the Sixers within 1, and then Joe followed that up with a long jumper to put them ahead with 42 seconds left. They were down 18 at one point in the second half, battled back, snapping the Bucks' 16-game win streak. Joe had 31 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. Tyrese had 26. James Harden, though, almost messed around and had a triple-double, coming up one rebound short, 38, 10, and 9, as the Sixers beat the Bucks 133-130 in dramatic fashion on this day in 2023. And that does lead us directly into our What If Wednesday. Kind of hits even harder today, considering what the Sixers did yesterday. But What If Wednesday is brought to you by Lotwin. If you're looking for 3D custom hype chains, these things are awesome. Go to lotwin.com, use the promo code TCCPOD to take 10% off. Baseball season starting, travel teams, rec teams, high school teams, whatever you got, middle school teams. These things are good. If you want to get hype after a big play, have the kids come off the field, put on the hype chain, make a home run chain, whatever you want, they got you covered. All right, so for What If Wednesday, what if James Harden worked out when he was with the Sixers? Of all the players that teamed with Joe, with the exception of maybe Jimmy Butler, I think James Harden was the best. And all you got to do is look at that Boston series game 1. I believe it was game 5. That whatever other game he had 30-some points or whatever. And he was a good compliment to Joe. Joe's health, unfortunately, a lot like this year, put a damper on that season and really put the pressure on Harden. But he did step up. But after all that, he called Daryl Morey a liar. There was the issues with the contract. Well, what if they had paid him more money? Could they have competed with the Celtics in the East and the Bucks and all those teams? And would we be in a different position? Because they tried to replace James Harden with Paul George. Now you got Paul George out on a PED suspension. But you could have had Maxey, Harden, and Joe on the same team. I think it would have really opened up Tyrese's game somewhat as well. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line, 267-495-8531. What if the James Harden experiment did work out? Or what if Daryl Morey didn't lie to him and they did pay him and he stayed? I think it would have been a far better option than end of the road Paul George, but we'll never know. We'll never know. And obviously, I was very critical and tough on James Harden because this is his MO. He's already done it again. How many times now where he's switching teams and he grows tired of it. So part of that plays into it. But from a purely on the court talent perspective, I think he was the best player that they brought in to team with Joe. And it did work. Still pissed off and can't believe they blew that series lead against Boston. That game 6 still irks me to this day, but maybe the Sixers just are a cursed franchise. What do we do to break the curse? Might be a good summer idea. Breaking the Sixers curse. How do we do it? How do we do it? Do we wear our jerseys inside out? I don't know. Could work. But that is What If Wednesday, brought to you by Lotwin. Get your 3D custom hype chains from Lotwin. Use the promo code TCCPOD to take 10% off of your order. Does lead us into today's trivia question, though. James Harden was a great assist man. Who are the top 3 single-game assist leaders in Sixers history? The number is 21. 3 players have gotten that. Who are they? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line or the Discord channel, which is the first link in the description. And then finally, our Women's History Month Spotlight. Every journey starts somewhere. For these women, it started in Philly, whether it's on the playgrounds, the rec centers, gyms, or college courts, and it all led to the WNBA. Today, we're going a little bit south and going down to Wilmington, Delaware, to talk about Elena Delle Donne from Wilmington. She was an Ursuline Academy graduate, where she was a 3-time state champion, a McDonald's All-American, the #1 high school recruit in the country. From there, she shocked everyone, stayed home, went to the University of Delaware, where she became a 2-time All-American, 3-time CAA Player of the Year, 4-time All-CAA Conference Team, which all led her to being the #2 pick in the 2013 WNBA draft by the Chicago Sky. She was Rookie of the Year. She joined the 50-40-90 club, which this is pretty impressive. I'll be honest, I've never heard of this until I was doing my research on this. It's shooting 50% from the floor, 40% from three-point range, and 90% from the free throw line. Not many guys or girls have been able to do this, so Delle Donne was able to be in there. She's on the WNBA's 25th All-Anniversary team. She's 4-time All-WNBA first team, 7 All-Star appearances, won 2 MVP awards, got a championship in 2019 while playing for the Washington Mystics. She also had a gold medal in 2016. But the cool thing about her is she had the confidence to go to a small school. Despite being the #1 recruit in the country, she could have gone anywhere. Decided to stay home to be close to her family. Her sister had some health issues, so that was important to her. She forged her own path, stayed at home, and turned it into one hell of a WNBA career. So from Philly, in this case Wilmington, to the WNBA, this month we are celebrating the journey from Philly to the WNBA. And today, Elena Delle Donne, you are today's spotlight. One hell of a player. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on James Harden. What if it had worked out in Philly and he stayed? Would we be in a different position, or would the health issues of Joe still lead us down to roughly where we are today, and it would have just postponed the inevitable James Harden wanting out of Philly? But on this day in 2023, Sixers come from behind to beat the Bucks 133-130. James Harden, messing around, almost had a triple-double. A year earlier, they come from 21 down to beat the Cavs 125-119. Tyrese Maxey led the way. 1990, Hank Gathers passed away on the court of the WCC West Coast Conference semifinals. 1973, Rick McLeish had himself a day, 4 goals, 3 assists as the Flyers beat the Maple Leafs 10-0. And the Phillies, on this day in 1944, became the Blue Jays. Name didn't stick, so now they're back to the Phillies. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for March 4th, 2026. My name's Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a hump day. We'll have more on the Sixers. Hopefully they can bounce back against the Jazz tonight. It's supposed to be in the 50s today. Dreary, but it's going to be warm. So enjoy your day, everybody. My name's Jim Montgomery, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.